You know that feeling when you open your fridge and start mentally planning meals, not because you're worried about running out, but because you like the challenge of making what you have work? It's like looking at a puzzle where every piece is edible and you get to decide how it all fits together. Do I turn that bread into fancy grilled cheese or save it for Saturday morning French toast? Can I stretch what's here into a few more dinners so I can skip a store trip and put that grocery money towards something I actually want? Living frugally used to feel like walking on thin ice, every step about survival. Now it feels like skating across solid ice, steady, confident, and in control. I'm not just making things last, I'm making choices that clear space in my budget for the things that truly make me happy. It's like walking across a frozen pond in the middle of winter when the ice is thick, solid, and safe. You're not tiptoeing, worrying about falling through. You're gliding, taking in the view, and enjoying the crisp, fresh air. That's what frugal living feels like for me now. I used to live frugally because I had to. Every step was about survival, making sure the bills got paid and there was food on the table. But over time, I realized frugality could be a choice, not a sentence. Now I live frugally because it frees up money for the things I actually love. Family vacations, really good coffee, and a home that feels warm and intentional. So when I grab bread from the bakery outlet instead of the grocery store or use a pretty thrifted saucer in place of a $15 spoon rest, it's not about deprivation anymore. It's about making room for what truly matters. Kitchen and food swaps. Swapped store-bought bread for the discount bakery outlet. Now, I used to feel guilty for not baking bread from scratch like real frugal women do. But between work, kids, and keeping everyone fed, flour-dusted mornings just weren't happening. Then I found the bakery outlet, about 20 minutes away. Game changer. Once a month on Fridays, because that was 99-cent day, I'd drive out there with a big bag and stock up on whole grain loaves, English muffins, bagels, and even the occasional treat. I'd spend $15 to $20 and fill my freezer with what would have cost me $60 at the grocery store. No guilt, no needing, and the family still got their sandwiches. Now I've moved health above everything else, and if I'm going to eat bread, it's going to be really great homemade sourdough. Because why eat processed chemical full bread when homemade tastes so much better? Swap spoon rests for fancy saucers or ashtrays. Now, you don't need to spend $15 on a pretty ceramic spoon rest when the thrift store is full of better options for less than $1. Vintage saucers, butter dishes, and even old glass ashtrays are the perfect size to hold a spoon, whisker, ladle while you're cooking. They're sturdy, easy to wash, and often way more stylish than something mass-produced from Target. Look for heavy glass or patterned china to add a bit of charm to your stove area. It's a tiny upgrade that makes your kitchen feel unique without spending more than loose change. Swap plastic wrap for beeswax wraps or an actual lid. Instead of reaching for plastic wrap every time you put away leftovers, try a reusable beeswax wrap or purchase the lids that go with the dish. Foil and plastic wrap are a one-and-done solution for a challenge that happens over and over. The beeswax covers and lids are much better return on investment. Beeswax wraps last for months and make your fridge look charmingly old-fashioned. It's a small change, but over time, it saves money and cuts way down on kitchen wastes. Now, I just bought this beeswax bag for my homemade sourdough bread, and we are loving it. But YouTube is full of instructional videos if you want to make your own. Swap one-use plastic bags for reusable glass. Whether it's Pyrex from the outlets or thrift store to reusable pasta jars, skip the plastic throwaway stuff. Purchase once and reuse often. I can say with pride that I no longer have plastic containers in my cupboard. The lids to the glass are still plastic, and if I can find a replacement for those that seal well and are sturdy, I'll invest in those. You can freeze in glass as well. Just leave room for expansion, otherwise your glass jars will explode in the freezer. Speaking from experience. Swap daily coffee pods for a French press or old-fashioned coffee maker. Those convenient coffee pods add up fast. A French press or pour-over setup gives you rich, bold coffee with zero waste. If you're more than a 1 cup person, the best bet is the good old Mr. Coffee or percolator. These still make great coffee, and you can get a drip coffee maker with a timer that can be all ready to go the minute you walk into the kitchen. This is a great way to feel that instant gratification of the Keurig that we all love so much. If you're loyal to your Keurig, invest in a reusable pod and fill it with your favorite grounds. And you can prep those ahead of time as well. You'll cut the cost per cup by at least half and reduce landfill clutter. Plus, brewing your own coffee feels like a tiny daily luxury. You can make yourself feel extra fancy with good quality beans and a grinder you bought at the thrift shop. Home and cleaning swaps. Swap Swiffer pads for fuzzy socks. Those fuzzy socks with no matches? Don't toss them, slide them onto your Swiffer. They're the perfect size. They trap dust like a dream, and you can throw them in the wash when you're done. You'll save money and give new life to all those single socks you've been collecting in the laundry room. Cleaning just got a little quirkier and a lot more frugal. Now, I don't know about you, but I do love a good pair of cozy socks. But I have way more than I need, and using them for cleaning is a great alternative to donating them. Swap fabric softener sheets for a splash of vinegar or the dryer balls. Instead of pricey dryer sheets or liquid softeners, try adding a quarter cup of plain white vinegar to your washing machine's rinse cycle. It naturally softens clothes, reduces statics, and doesn't leave any scent behind. Vinegar is dirt cheap, gentle on sensitive skin, and helps clean out the washing machine while it's at it. You will not smell like a pickle, I promise. One simple swap saves money and simplifies your laundry routine. Now, if you don't feel comfortable adding vinegar to your washing machine, opt for the dryer balls. I love my dryer balls, and they are easily 10 years old. Some people also love adding essential oils to theirs. If you're looking for a trusted source for essential oils at a great price, I'm going to leave a link in the description to a website of a certified aromatherapist that I have known for years. She's the best. Swap air fresheners for baking soda with essential oils. One more swap toward essential oils and smell goods. Instead of plugging in synthetic air fresheners or burning pricey candles, fill a small mason jar with baking soda and add a few drops of that essential oil. Cover it with breathable fabric or poke holes in the lid, and you've got a custom air freshener that lasts 4 weeks. It's cleaner, safer, and way more budget-friendly than chemical sprays. Plus, you can switch up the scent whenever you want, or consider cheap vodka and essential oils for room spray or an alternative to Febreze. Lifestyle and personal care swaps. Swap wrapping paper for outdated road maps. You know those paper road maps you haven't used since before MapQuest became popular? They make stunning gift wrap. Add a bit of twine or a sprig of rosemary, and suddenly it looks artisanal. Use state maps for local gifting or highlight destinations for sentimental flair. It's practically free, endlessly clever, and gives your gift a backstory. Check thrift shops for these. I see them all the time. Even better, put out a social media call to all friends and family letting them know you're looking for old maps. Swipe pricey greeting cards for handwritten notes. Instead of spending $5 to $7 on a greeting card with glitter and pre-written stuff, grab a blank card or a pretty piece of stationery and write something personal. A short, heartfelt message means more anyway, and it doesn't cost you a thing. It's the kind of thing people tuck into a drawer and keep for years, which is a better return on investment than a card with a cartoon dog. Now, I don't know who needs to hear this, but many people aren't really into getting cards. It just adds clutter. I would much rather have a text from a friend that says happy birthday than a card in the mail. Now, I will admit a random card on a random day that says, saw this card and it made me think of you, means much more than a birthday card. Swap disposable razors for a safety razor. This swap feels old school in the best way. A stainless steel safety razor costs more upfront, but the replacement blades are dirt cheap. You'll get a closer shave, reduce plastic waste, and stop tossing flimsy pink razors into the trash. Now, there is a learning curve, and you have to be careful, but once you've got it down, you'll wonder why you didn't make the switch sooner. It's frugal, eco-friendly, and kind of empowering. My gram used one of these refillable razor blade razors as far back as I could remember. But if you don't feel safe with that, consider an electric rechargeable razor. That's what I use, and I love it. No more razors rusting in the shower. Swap paper planners for a printable binder. If you love organizing but hate spending $40 to $70 on a fancy planner every year, try printing your own. I have a free budget planner that I can leave the link in the description and the pinned comments. You can mix and match only the pages you'll actually use. No fluff, no waste. Plus, when a page gets messy, you can just print a new one. It's a practical and totally satisfying little project that keeps you focused and frugal. Mindset and habit swaps. Swapped just browsing for a hard rule, no browsing allowed. Now, I used to tell myself I was just looking on Amazon, at Target, scrolling late at night with a snack and a tired brain. But every harmless little scroll somehow ended with $40 gone and something I didn't need on its way to my front porch. So I made a new rule. No browsing, ever. If I don't have a specific item I'm searching for, I don't go looking. No apps, no store aisles, no let's see what's new, because let's be honest, what's new is usually what drains your budget. And if I do catch myself browsing, there's no buying. It goes into the cart and sits while I contemplate whether it's truly needed. I'll tell you more about this in a minute. This rule goes for in person too. I never go to Target to grab a coffee and just browse around. Rare are the moments this happens, and it's usually when my husband is with me. Who's married to a browser? Let me know in the comments. Misery loves company. Swap buying new for borrowed or sharing. Before buying something new, especially if it's something you'll only use once, ask around. Need a ladder, a bunt pan, or a folding table? Someone you know probably has one they'd be happy to lend. Sharing builds community, saves space in your home, and keeps money in your pocket. It's the kind of old school neighborhood habit we need to bring back. Now, I understand that many times this doesn't work for people. If you live in an area that doesn't feel safe or a community that nobody talks to their neighbors, then this probably won't really work for you. But consider, if it feels safe to get to know your neighbor a little, dip your toes in the conversation pool to see how the water feels. You don't need to become besties, just know their name. Swap just-in-case spending for just-in-time mindset. It's tempting to buy things just in case you might need them later, but that habit often leads to clutter and a little overspending. Try waiting until you truly need something before purchasing it. It keeps your budget tight and your home lighter. You'll be surprised how often the emergency never arrives and how creative you can be with what you already have. Now, we're having a big garage sale this weekend. Every year our town has a townwide garage sale, and it's the best time to sell stuff. People come from everywhere looking for bargains, and the weather is going to be perfect. Now, I'm finding that buying stuff just in case has led me to a cellar full of stuff I no longer use. And I vow, as you are my witness, to stop buying just in case. Swap Amazon impulse buys for 48-hour cool-off list. Every time you get the itch to buy something online, especially at night when you're tired, write it down and wait 48 hours. Most of the time, the thrill wears off and you realize you don't actually need it. This one tiny habit has saved me hundreds of dollars, and it helps break that sneaky emotional spending cycle we all fall into sometimes. It's like a built-in filter for your wallet. This is standard practice, but one I could still use a little practice with. I'm still a smidge impulsive, but I'm getting better. Swap default spending with intentional waiting. We're so used to swiping, clicking, and treating ourselves that it's easy to spend out of habit. Try pausing instead. The next time you're tempted to buy something on impulse, take a walk, sip some tea, or phone a friend. Give yourself space to see if that feeling passes. Often the real craving isn't for stuff, it's for comfort, rest, or connection. Take a breath, put down the phone, get a glass of water, and ask the questions. You know the ones. Do I need it? Where will I keep it? How often will I use it? Start creating a new habit. Entertainment. Swap Netflix, Hulu, or Max for free library streaming, Canopy, or Hoopla. If you're paying for streaming platforms but always saying there's nothing good to watch, consider this. Public libraries often offer Canopy or Hoopla, two free streaming services packed with documentaries, indie films, and classics you can't get elsewhere. You just need a library card. There's no algorithm pushing reality shows or filtering content, just thoughtful, interesting choices. It's like the high-end Criterion channel without the big price tag. You can stream on your TV, tablet, or phone, and it works like Netflix, only smarter and free. Pluto TV is another one of my favorites too. They have an entire channel just for Little House on the Prairie. It's one of the best shows to watch before bed because it's sweet, kind, and not nearly as stimulating as the procedural cop shows that I really like so much. Swap a night out for a themed dinner and no screens. Skip the pricey night out and host a themed dinner at home. Make tacos, play mariachi music, and break out the Uno cards. Or do spaghetti and a retro 90s movie night. Add candles, mood lighting, or a playlist to elevate the vibe. You'll create memories without the restaurant bill, and the kids or grandkids can join in too. The weather is still pretty great here, and one of my husband's and my favorite things to do in the evening is sit outside on the outdoor couch in the screen house, add some music and a cup of tea or a glass of wine, and enjoy each other's company. I know it sounds cheesy, but I'm that super cheesy girl, and I'm okay with it. Swap full-price books for swaps or free copies. Books are one of life's greatest pleasures, but they don't have to be expensive. Use the library, check out little free libraries, or trade with friends. You can also find great deals at used bookstores and online swap groups. There's something delightful about finding a new read for free, and it's a wonderful way to keep your love of learning frugal. Little free libraries are popping up everywhere. Swap your books there. I also just saw a reel on Instagram about this warehouse in Baltimore where all the books are free. It's run on donation and volunteers, and you can take 1 or 12 or a whole box. One teacher had an entire box of books for his classroom. It made my heart happy to see this, and I think a road trip is in my future. Swap Spotify Premium for frugal and download playlists. Music doesn't have to come with a monthly fee. Frugal, offered through many public libraries, gives you free weekly song downloads that you actually keep. No ads, no expiration. Over time, you can build a great online playlist without spending a dime. And YouTube mixes or even a few old CDs you forgot you had, and you'll start to wonder why you ever paid $11.99 a month just to skip ads. Pandora and Spotify both have free versions. You'll have to pay for ads, you'll have to listen to ads, no different than public radio, and that's also free. If you're determined not to give up your Spotify Premium, consider decreasing your monthly spend by going in on a family plan. If there's one thing I hope you take away from this list, is that frugal swaps don't have to feel like sacrifice. They're not about giving up every little joy or making your life harder. The best swaps are the ones you barely notice, except in your bank account. One change here and there, repeat over time, it's what builds real savings. And many of these swaps just don't save you money. They simplify your life, reduce waste, and sometimes even add a little charm or creativity to your daily routines. You don't have to overhaul everything at once. Pick one area where you've been meaning to cut back. Try a swap that feels doable and give it a couple weeks. Then add another. Before long, these changes become second nature, and you'll be amazed at how much more breathing room you have, both in your budget and in your life. And if this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and watch this video next.